Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, 5 million Washingtonians will be eligible for the vaccine by the end of this month. We're talking about who's next on the list to sign up for the shot.
And waking up this morning to a few leftover rain showers. Will any of these stick around for the weekend? I'll have your forecast. It's coming up.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning, Northwest, and happy Friday. Made it to the end of the work week. Checking in now with Chief Meteorologist Kristen Walls. And Kristen, we are just a day away from spring.
Day away, and it's certainly been beautiful. We have a lot of spring flowers that have been in bloom, so it has been just beautiful around the area. And we will see more sun around the area for today as well. So let's get you started first this morning with a live look. This is in downtown Yakima. Pretty quiet start for you. Now keep in mind some of the winds will pick up for today, so we are expecting some increasing winds. And you can see a few of those showers that we have left over, mainly off to our east around Pendleton and along the foothills of the Blues. So next couple of hours, we will still be dealing with a few of those rain showers. Temperatures, though, not too bad. 48 in the Tri-Cities with 44 Walla Walla, Pendleton this morning at 42, and then sitting in at 44 degrees this morning for Yakima. So as you take a look ahead to your forecast for today, again, those winds not too bad right now, but we'll start to pick up just a bit this afternoon as we will see a partly sunny sky. 55 degrees at lunchtime, a little bit cooler compared to yesterday with a high of 61. So again, could we see any more rain chances as we head into the upcoming weekend? We will also see some cooler temperatures spilling in as well. Your full forecast, it's coming up.
Thank you, Kristen. Well, local health officials say they're cautiously optimistic as Washington prepares to enter a new phase of reopening. In a matter of days, all of Washington is slated to enter into phase 3. Dr. Amy Person with the Benton Franklin Health District shared how our region is doing case-wise and their concerns moving forward. She says at the current rate, our area wouldn't qualify to remain in phase 3.
It does provide the community the opportunity to make those changes in behavior or habit that will help reduce the amount of disease in that community.
When asked about the COVID-19 variants being found, Dr. Person says we must continue to mask up and social distance, measures that have worked so far. And days after hundreds of thousands of essential workers became eligible for the vaccine in Washington, Governor Inslee is announcing another step forward. 2 tiers will now become eligible at the same time on March 31st.
These tiers will open up the vaccine to nearly 2 million more Washingtonians. Anyone over the age of 16 who has 2 or more comorbidity. Also, anyone living in congregate settings, such as correctional facilities, group homes, or those with disability. Also, those experiencing homelessness who live in or access services to congregate settings.
The governor also announced that people can start visiting relatives in nursing homes and long-term care centers once again. He says outdoor visits are still the best option, but indoor visits are allowed because enough residents have been vaccinated. Now, we know a lot of people have been struggling to find a vaccine appointment. The state does have a new website, vaccinelocator.doh.wa.gov. That will show you all the places with slots available, and it also shows you when the page was last updated, so you have a better idea of how fast those appointments are being booked. Veterans enrolled with Walla Walla Veterans Affairs can get their vaccine this weekend in Richland at one of the VA's drive-through clinics. Saturday's event is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and officials with the VA say they're offering both the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Veterans of all ages are eligible, but they do have to be currently enrolled in health care with the Walla Walla VA. Officials say they have successfully vaccinated thousands of veterans and VA employees so far, and they're encouraging more people to come in and get their shot.
For the VA, we want to keep our veterans healthy, and one way to help to curb this pandemic is to be able to get as many veterans vaccinated as possible.
The VA is also hosting vaccination clinics on Saturday in Lewiston and LeGrand. More are planned through April. You can find the number to schedule an appointment on our website, yaktrinews.com. A Native American tribe in Washington donated some COVID vaccines to the Department of Corrections. Last month, the health clinic manager of the Muckleshoot tribe in Auburn reached out to the governor's office about giving a portion of their allocated COVID-19 vaccine doses to incarcerated members. In total, 14 incarcerated tribe members were able to get the Moderna vaccine. The Muckleshoot tribe reservation was among the first places in the state to host a mass vaccination clinic. The European Union says the AstraZeneca vaccine is safe to use, even though several countries put the shots on hold after people started reporting blood clots after they got that version of the vaccine. The AstraZeneca vaccine isn't approved for use in the United States, and some health officials can't say for certain that there's no link between the shot and rare types of blood clots. But the World Health Organization says there's no evidence that the vaccine caused the clots, and they're confident that doctors can keep using the AstraZeneca vaccine. Again, this is in Europe, and this particular vaccine isn't being used here in the United States. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says 2 of Eli Lilly's coronavirus antibody treatments may not work against some of the new variants. Monoclonal antibodies are man-made immune system proteins. They're infused into COVID patients as a treatment to try to boost their immune response early on and have been used to try to prevent infection. But after the FDA reviewed research on the characteristics of several of the new variants, they said their findings warranted revisions to the emergency use authorization for Eli Lilly's products. At 5:06, let's take a quick break here on Good Morning Northwest. But first, let's take that live look outside.
And we're still left over with some rain showers early this morning, but will they stick around for that upcoming weekend? I'll have that full forecast coming up.
Plus, some bad news for people planning spring and summer trips. We'll go over where the U.S. is extending travel restrictions. Welcome back at 5:09. Travel restrictions with Canada and Mexico will continue. The Department of Homeland Security announced yesterday that the U.S. is extending travel restrictions with our northern and southern neighbors through at least April 21st. The move is to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and comes more than a year since the restrictions were first put in place. The measures restrict non-essential travel. They were implemented first under the Trump administration a year ago and have been extended by 30-day increments ever since. Some lawmakers want cameras in the highest court in the country. 2 senators introduced the Cameras in the Courtroom Act. The bill would allow television cameras at Supreme Court hearings, which are already open to the public. Under the proposal, the 9 justices could decide with a majority vote to remove the cameras if they violate due process rights. The Supreme Court added live audio streaming of its oral arguments during the pandemic, but they haven't said if that would continue once they start in-person proceedings again. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, an epidemic of attacks on Asian Americans plaguing the nation. We have an update on the deadly shootings in Atlanta. Welcome back. In news from across America, authorities in Georgia are investigating the killing of 8 people, including 6 Asian women. The attacks come as Asian Americans are facing increased incidents of hate amid the COVID-19 pandemic. As Camila Bernal explains, the deadly shootings at 3 Atlanta area spas are highlighting the fear and violence many Asian Americans are experiencing.
Investigators say it's too early to know if the Atlanta shootings were racially motivated. But this comment from Captain Jay Baker is sparking outrage in the Asian community and beyond.
He understood the gravity of it, and he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope. And yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
The comment has many digging into Baker's social media, where a photo allegedly posted by Baker last year shows shirts with racist and anti-Asian messages about COVID-19. When asked by CNN about the post, Baker had no comment. Since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, Asian American groups say they're experiencing a rise in incidents of hate and violence.
There is increased fear amongst our community, but there's also deep pain and anger.
Lawmakers in Washington even holding a previously scheduled committee hearing to address these fears.
I want to make clear that all Asian Americans who are understandably feeling hurt and afraid right now and wondering whether anyone else in America cares, that Congress sees you.
Advocates say they welcome the response from leaders around the country, but also say more needs to be done.
Now is not that time to be silent. Now is really the time to raise more awareness of what's going on and to demand that things change.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
And today, President Biden and Vice President Harris will meet with Asian American and Pacific Islander community leaders in Atlanta instead of moving ahead with a political event they had planned before the deadly shootings. And the White House says President Biden will also meet with prominent Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams during his visit to Atlanta today. Abrams, who ran for governor in 2018, has been credited for helping flip Georgia blue for Democrats in the 2020 presidential election. She's also credited with helping 2 Georgia Democrats win their Senate runoff elections in January, giving Democrats control of the Senate. A Biden administration official said Abrams has played a leading role in voting access and voter protection and will be an important partner in taking action on this issue in the future.
Now, Cap KVU First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Kristen Walls.
And happy Friday, everybody. Finally made it to the end of the work week. We should have some sunshine returning today. We have a few rain showers left over. We had some of those rain showers yesterday afternoon for some locations, but sunrise just after 7 o'clock this morning at 7:01, sunset at 7:08. And spring officially begins tomorrow. Very early in the morning, we're starting to see a lot of those flowers bloom across the area. And because of that, we're still continuing to ask for your spring photos. You can head over to yaktrinews.com. At the very top there, we actually have a section where you can submit your photos. So as those flowers start to bloom, snap those photos, and we will show them here on Good Morning Northwest. Now, we have a few showers that are still moving through the area early this morning, mainly parts of the Columbia Basin and east into the foothills of the Blues. So as you head out this morning, don't be surprised that we still have maybe a little bit of some drizzle and just some light rain. So there's Milton Freewater into Athena, Walla Walla this morning, a little bit of some light rainfall for you. Dry conditions now for Kennewick into West Richland, into parts of the Tri-Cities. So seeing those improvements in a lot of our areas early this morning as this frontal system continues to make its way through. But it will be a bit unsettled in some spots, especially if you're traveling for this upcoming weekend. So as we get you over here to Futurecast, you can see some of the mountain snow showers. So we'll have a little bit of some mountain snow, especially into the higher elevations. 3,000 to 4,000 feet will be the best chance to see some accumulating snowfall. Locally here, we could have maybe a stray shower or two popping up very early on Saturday morning. But overall, there's going to be a lot of dry time for your weekend, partly sunny. Winds are still going to increase as well for your Saturday. By Sunday, we'll have a little bit more sunshine, but our next system is really going to start to approach the area. So by Sunday night, we'll start to see some rain showers moving in, and that'll continue to linger into early Monday morning. So there's a look even by Monday afternoon. We'll see drier conditions moving in, so back to a partly sunny sky. Breezy conditions as well for your Monday as you head back to work. Now, speaking of some of those winds out the door, not too bad. Most locations right now between 5 to 10. But as we take you throughout the day today, we will start to see those winds picking up. Today, not too bad, 20 to 25 miles per hour. Now, as we head into Saturday, that's when we could see some of those wind gusts that could be as high as about 35 miles per hour. So some slightly higher winds in the forecast for your Saturday with those cooler temperatures moving in. Now, speaking of temperatures, we're at 48 in the Tri-Cities with 44 in Walla Walla, low 40s as well in Hanford, and then 44 over into Yakima. Tree pollen still moderate to high for today. Juniper, alder, and poplar will be the main pollens out there for today. So as we get you over to that forecast this afternoon, not quite as warm as yesterday. 56 in Yakima, 57 today in Toppenish, low 60s in the Tri-Cities with 60 degrees today in Hermiston, 59 in Prosser, and then some upper 50s there from Walla Walla into Pendleton. So mostly cloudy sky for tonight. Just going to be a chilly night ahead. Numbers tonight should be dipping down into the 30s and 40s. So as we get you over to that forecast for the next couple of days, especially this weekend, mainly dry, again a little bit cooler, 56 on Sunday. Another rain chance by Sunday night into Monday of next week as those winds continue to pick up on Monday. And then your 7-day forecast for Yakima. Again, spring tomorrow. We'll have a mixture of some sunshine and clouds, and then a high of 53 by Sunday.
5:20, we're going to take a quick break here on Good Morning Northwest, but coming up, Peloton's new warning to parents after a fatal accident with a child. Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Peloton is sending out a new warning to owners of its Tread Plus treadmills, saying children should be kept away from the machines. It comes after a child died in an accident involving a Tread Plus. The company's CEO sent a letter to Tread Plus owners yesterday after the tragedy. He said Peloton is, quote, aware of only a small handful of incidents involving the Tread Plus where children have been hurt. The exercise equipment company said in a statement it is shocked and saddened by the incident. Search giant Google is doubling down on office space. It's the latest tech company to commit to more office space despite the spike in remote working amid the pandemic. Google said yesterday it's planning to invest upwards of $7 billion in offices and data centers in the U.S. $1 billion of that will be invested in the company's home state of California. Offices outside California will also be expanded, with Google planning to add thousands of roles in Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and New York. The company is also aiming to create at least 10,000 more full-time jobs this year. And check this out as the clock turns to 5:25. Time to get a drink for a hardworking certified nurse in your life. March 19th is National Certified Nurses Day. Certified nurses continue their education to get certifications in specialties like nurse practitioner, pediatrics, medical, surgical, and psychiatric, among others. To celebrate, thank a certified nurse you know, or encourage a future nurse to get certified. The day started as an honor to Margaretta Maydeen Stiles, whose birthday was March 19th, 1930. She pioneered the study and practice of nursing around the country.
And they have been so, hardworking, especially over this last year.
They really
with
have.
Everything. So,
and I want to use this opportunity to say a special thank you to my mom, certified as a nurse to work with tiny little NICU babies.
Goodness. Well, we'll have to send her maybe some flowers or, just give her a phone call.
Yes.
That goes a long way, too.
Big thank you to all nurses. Coming up next, Gonzaga is chasing history as we head into the NCAA tournament. We'll hear from the head coach ahead of their first matchup. Plus, a restaurant in Everett is drawing major criticism over its name. We'll hear from the owner.
And we still have a few rain showers left over very early this morning. Could we see any more wet weather as we head into the upcoming weekend? Stick around for that full forecast coming up during the 5:30 half hour.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Changes are coming to the Pasco Farmers Market and Peanuts Park this spring. The city will hold an official groundbreaking ceremony this afternoon. They're replacing some of the concrete, putting in a new canopy and permanent spots for food trucks, and installing some new artwork. The project is expected to cost around $6 million. Well, if you've been missing out on visiting local libraries during the pandemic, now is your chance to get back in there and check out some books. Mid-Columbia Libraries announced its transition to Curbside Plus. Now, curbside pickup and returns are still available, but now there will be access to browse books inside their 12 libraries and access their computers, which means the world to some readers.
We have fans, we have library lovers that, just love us to pieces, but we've heard from people that, literally the library saved their life. Like, having books in their hands just really got them through some really hard times.
Warren says people really enjoyed the curbside services the library started providing throughout the pandemic, and that it will stick around for a while. The libraries have limited hours for in-person browsing. We have all that information on yaktrynews.com.
All right, just turning over to 5:56. Let's get you to that close to home forecast for today. Seeing just a leftover rain shower in some locations, but we will have some sunshine back for today, and it's going to be a bit breezy as well later on this afternoon. You can see those temperatures generally in the upper 50s and low 60s. 61 today for Richland and Kennewick. Burbank today also up to about 61 degrees. Now, we have some rain showers left over along the foothills of the Blues early this morning, but it will turn drier this afternoon. Partly sunny sky for you as well. 56 today in Pendleton and at Pilot Rock. 57 as well for Milton Freewater, Prescott and Waitsburg today, jumping up to about 56 degrees. Starting off the day with a partly sunny sky, and those winds also picking up just a bit for this afternoon. 57 in Toppenish, Natchez today at 53 with Sela at 56, and we'll be dodging maybe a rain shower or two throughout the day today for Cle Elum and Ellensburg. A little bit breezy as well with those gusts up to 25. Vantage this afternoon up to 59.
And today is also World Sleep Day. And doctors say there is some evidence that sleep may be even more important if you're about to get vaccinated.
There was a study with the influenza vaccine that showed that people who were sleep deprived the week before getting the vaccine did not produce enough antibodies after the vaccine compared to the people that slept good nights, the right amount of sleep. So sleep is very important even around your vaccination time for your immune system to produce the right amount of immune response after the vaccine.
Now, one way to get a better night's sleep is to shut down your technology at least an hour before bedtime.
And, you know, that could be a little tough. So my kind of hack on that is blue light. The blue light blocking glasses, those tend to help a little bit to kind of get you into that sleep a little bit better.
That's a good trick.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Gonzaga is chasing history as we head into the NCAA tournament. We'll hear from the head coach ahead of their first matchup. Plus, yesterday, the House passed two major bills aimed at providing a pathway to citizenship for immigrants. Good Morning Northwest continues right now.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning, Northwest, and happy Friday, everyone. Made it to the end of the work week. Checking in now with Chief Meteorologist Kristen Walls as we are awaiting that first day of spring tomorrow.
So excited. I mean, we've been spoiled, as I mentioned, with some of the beautiful weather. The flowers are blooming. It has been beautiful around the area. But let's talk about some changes that we could see out there for today as we're giving you a live look right now in downtown Yakima. Pretty quiet for you. One change that we will see around the area today will be the wind. That'll start to pick up a bit as this frontal system continues to slide off to the east. Now we have a few showers left over, so some soggy weather to start off the day from Walla Walla into Athena and Pendleton. So along the foothills of the Blues, that'll be really the best chance to see some wet weather for today. Temperatures, though, we're in the upper 40s in the Tri-Cities, mid 40s for Hermiston, 42 currently in Pendleton, and then Yakima and Toppenish waking up this morning with those temperatures in the upper 40s. So as you break down your forecast, some peaks of some sunshine expected this afternoon, and it will be drier, but a cooler day with a high of 61 degrees. Now temperatures will continue to drop a bit as we head into the weekend, and will we see any more rain chances? I'll have your full forecast. It's coming up.
Thank you, Kristen. A crime update. A 15-year-old suspect in a gang-related shooting in Yakima has been sentenced to 2 months in the Yakima County Juvenile Justice Center. Police say the 15-year-old was one of several teens involved in shooting a 17-year-old boy outside Garfield Elementary School in February. The 15-year-old suspect entered an Alford plea to possession of a stolen motor vehicle and underage possession of a firearm. A man was shot at a business in Skyway last night. According to the King County Sheriff's Office, an employee was shot in the leg during a robbery attempt. The shooting was reported around 9:30 p.m. at South Bay Massage and Spa in Seattle. Authorities are now searching for 2 suspects connected with the shooting. The victim's injuries are not considered life-threatening. In Everett, a restaurant owner is facing major backlash in the community after unveiling the name of his business. Some people may recognize the name Soup Nazi Kitchen from an episode of Seinfeld, but other people aren't finding humor with the name. News about this controversial place quickly went viral, and yesterday protesters were outside of the building for hours by including the word Nazi in the title. Owner Andrew Ho said he wanted to push back against political correctness.
80% of Americans think that political correctness is a problem. So it's a 20% are running away with it. And, you know, they're having some serious issues.
The word Nazi was removed from the sign, but anger reached a breaking point this week. Someone smashing the windows of the building. Despite so much attention, the owner says he's not shying away from controversy and plans to have a set of rotating titles moving forward. The House voted yes on bills yesterday, which could create a gateway to citizenship for people brought to the United States as children and others who came here to escape war or a natural disaster. The Associated Press estimates that would impact around 2 million people. There's also the Farm Workforce Modernization Act up for consideration, which is co-sponsored by Eastern Washington Representative Dan Newhouse. It would offer legal status to around 1 million immigrant farm workers and their families. However, those workers would have to pay a $1,000 fine and keep working in the agriculture industry for up to 8 years.
For decades, Congress has attempted to pass comprehensive immigration reform to address agricultural workforce, but we have been unsuccessful. This bill is the targeted, bipartisan solution our farmers and ranchers need.
Now, neither of these bills would do anything for people trying to get into the United States right now or those waiting in camps along the border. Republicans in the Senate are calling for increased border security as part of any immigration overhaul. This brings us to our poll question of the day. Do you think Dreamers should be offered a path to citizenship? You can vote now at yaktrynews.com/vote and on our Cap KVUE app, and we'll have those results at the end of the show. A federal judge has dismissed an industry lawsuit that sought to block a $4 an hour pay boost for Seattle grocery workers amid the pandemic. The ruling was issued yesterday after hearing oral arguments. The Seattle City Council in January approved the pay boost for workers at large grocery stores to remain in effect as long as the city had declared a pandemic emergency. The judge rejected arguments by the Northwest Grocery Association and the Washington Food Industry Association that the pay increase interfered with collective bargaining and discriminated against large grocery stores.
Now, the Gonzaga Bulldogs at the NC2A basketball tournament. Brought to you by Toyota. Save big all March during Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event. Toyota, let's go places.
And now we'll go to our special Gonzaga Bulldogs coverage as they chase history. Last year, they were going to be in essentially the same spot they are this year, but as with all of us, the year 2020 brought some surprises. Jason Valentine has their story.
It's that time of year again. Gonzaga is headed to the NCAA championships. This year, they have a chance to do, well, something that hasn't been done since 1976. Have a perfect season, crowned by a championship. Last year, Gonzaga lost on the final day of the regular season, but were set for a #1 seed in the West, and they would have played in the Spokane Arena in front of their adoring fans for the first 2 rounds. Ironically, that site is now vaccinating people for the very reason last year's tournament was canceled. All eyes are now on Indianapolis. Here's Zags head coach Mark Few on ESPN's First Take about his team's, well, response to a tough year.
I would just say this, during this entire year, I am just constantly amazed at the resiliency, the drive, just the love of the game that all the players have shown to put up with all the challenges that, you know, the virus protocols and everything have brought to all of us. And it's just amazing to me, the grace and class, and I just marvel at our guys, you know.
The Zags have been the #1 team all year, but critics have questioned their pedigree in the West Coast Conference. Starting Saturday, Gonzaga will start the journey to quiet all the skeptics. It should be a fun ride.
And the Zags are now set to play Norfolk State tomorrow night. Tip-off starts at 6:20 p.m. And speaking of basketball, fill out your 2021 NCAA tournament bracket with Cap KVUE on yaktrynews.com for a chance at a Wild Horse Resort and Casino Family Fun Pack. That includes a $50 bowling voucher at Quaking Aspen's Lanes, a $30 food court voucher, and a $20 arcade voucher at the Wild Horse Family Funplex. It's right there on the front page of yaktrynews.com, or click on contests. You have until 9 a.m. this morning to fill it out. Good luck. 6:05, let's take a quick break here in Good Morning Northwest. But before we do, let's take that live look outside.
And we still have a few rain showers left over as you get ready to hit the road this morning. But what will that weekend have in store? Could we see any more sunshine returning? Your forecast is coming up.
Welcome back, everyone. Authorities in Georgia are investigating the killing of 8 people, including 6 Asian women. The attacks come as Asian Americans are facing increased incidents of hate amid the COVID-19 pandemic. As Camila Bernal explains, the deadly shootings at 3 Atlanta area spas are highlighting the fear and violence many Asian Americans are experiencing.
Investigators say it's too early to know if the Atlanta shootings were racially motivated. But this comment from Captain Jay Baker is sparking outrage in the Asian community and beyond.
He understood the gravity of it, and he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
The comment has many digging into Baker's social media, where a photo allegedly posted by Baker last year shows shirts with racist and anti-Asian messages about COVID-19. When asked by CNN about the post, Baker had no comment. Since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, Asian American groups say they're experiencing a rise in incidents of hate and violence.
There is increased fear amongst our community, but there's also deep pain and anger.
Lawmakers in Washington even holding a previously scheduled committee hearing to address these fears.
I want to make clear that all Asian Americans who are understandably feeling hurt and afraid right now and wondering whether anyone else in America cares, that Congress sees you.
Advocates say they welcome the response from leaders around the country, but also say more needs to be done.
Now is not that time to be silent. Now is really the time to raise more awareness of what's going on and to demand that things change.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
And today, President Biden and Vice President Harris will meet with Asian American and Pacific Islander community leaders in Atlanta instead of moving ahead with a political event they had planned before the deadly shootings. Security fencing around the Washington state capitol will remain, but state officials say the public is now allowed to walk around within the perimeter. The state's Department of Enterprise Services said that while the area remains closed to vehicles, pedestrian access gates have been added at several locations, and the public can access the previously closed off areas daily from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. This includes the Capitol steps that had previously been the usual staging area for protests or rallies. The fencing was installed January 8th, 2 days after a group of protesters breached a gate outside the governor's mansion and made it to the porch and front yard. 5 months after Clark County deputies shot and killed him, the family of Kevin Peterson Jr. announced they plan to sue. The law firm representing the family announced it's filed a claim against Clark County for wrongful death. They say that a deputy shot Peterson in the back as he ran away. The announcement came at a press conference with Kevin Peterson Jr.'s family present. All said they want justice for Peterson. The family's lawyer said he didn't know yet how much the family would seek in monetary damages.
Now, Cap gave you first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Kristen Walls.
And happy Friday, everybody. Finally made it to the end of the work week. We should see those improvements out there today. We still have a few showers left over, and our wind is expected to pick up later today as well. But early this morning, we're looking at a sunrise time just after 7 o'clock this morning. We're getting earlier and earlier now with this sunrise. We should be just before 7 o'clock as we head into the weekend. Sunset for today at 7:08. Now, speaking of this weekend, the first official day of spring, it arrives tomorrow, very early in the morning at 2:37. But we have been seeing a lot of flowers blooming around the area. We're still asking for your spring photos. If you have some beautiful flowers, maybe in your backyard, a tree that's blooming, snap that picture. Head over to yaktrinews.com. At the very top there, we have a spring photo section. You could upload your photos there, and then we could be showing them right here on Good Morning Northwest. So again, head over there. Love to show those photos each and every day on Good Morning Northwest. Now, we're left over with a few showers. We have a frontal system that's now pushed off to the east, but we have some shower activity still along the foothills of the Blues. Much better, though, from the Tri-Cities over into the Yakima Valley. You're left over with some drier conditions. But again, we have some of those rain showers that are still falling from Walla Walla, Milton Freewater into Athena. Still mainly dry right now into Pendleton, but again, those showers just to the west of the Pendleton area early this morning. Second half of the day today, we will see those improvements. You could still see some of those the shower activity that we have off to the west, and a little bit of some mountain snow is even expected for the upcoming weekend. So keep that in mind if you do have travel plans over some of those mountain passes. So there's a look at later on this afternoon, turning partly sunny for us. We might have a slight chance locally for a stray shower early tomorrow morning, but there's going to be a lot of dry time here locally for this weekend. Notice a lot of the activity back through some of those mountains. Right around 3,000 to 4,000 feet will be the best chance for some of that accumulating snowfall. And then this is our next system. This is Sunday afternoon. So during the daytime hours Sunday, there's going to be a lot more dry time. Clouds will start to build in, and then by Sunday night into Monday morning, we'll have those rain showers that'll move back in. Breezy once again Monday, but by Monday afternoon, back to some drier conditions. Now, speaking of those winds, out the door this morning, we're fairly light, but they will start to pick up as we take you throughout midday into the afternoon. Again, we're talking some wind gusts today, 20 to 25, but they will be slightly stronger as we move throughout your day on Saturday. Some of those gusts on Saturday could be as high as about 35 miles per hour. Now, temperatures out the door not quite as cold as we have been the last couple of mornings. We're actually into the upper 40s, Tri-Cities right now, mid 40s there in Walla Walla. Hermiston, good morning to you. You're at 45 and then 46 over in Yakima. And the tree pollen still moderate to high today. We now have juniper, alder, and poplar, which will be the main pollens out there for today. As far as high temperatures go, we're going to be in the upper 50s for Toppenish and Yakima with 47 in Cle Elum, 61 today in the Tri-Cities with 59 in Prosser, and those upper 50s in Walla Walla and Pendleton. So overnight tonight, it's going to be mostly cloudy, just a chilly night, upper 30s to near 40 degrees. So there's your 7-day. A lot of dry time this weekend with that next shower chance Sunday into Monday. Monday is going to be a bit breezy, maybe a stray shower or two left over. And then that 7-day forecast for Yakima, partly sunny sky for that first day of spring tomorrow at 56, and a partly sunny sky as well Sunday at 53.